Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Eclectic Astrology channel. Just a quick voice note for you all listeners, avid fans of astrology and psychology, because this channel is all about uncovering the self in various forms and the complexities that is the human being. The human being, the more I discover and get into these podcasts, I discover that it's anything but simple. We are all multi layered, multi dimensional creatures. And in this channel, we are trying to unlock it through Vedic astrology, bridging it with things like Enneagram, the Myers-Briggs model, the NLP model, the multiple intelligence model, and so on and so forth. Anyway, the multi-dimensional Nakshatras series, what is it about? Those series uncover the basic bridge between the Vedic astrology nakshatras as well as the Enneagram, the 9 types of Enneagram, and the 16 types of MBTI. Now, as you know, there are 27 nakshatras. So, building a bridge is the attempt of these multidimensional nakshatra series. So, as you go through this different one of 27 nakshatras, you will figure out the different bridges that are possible between MBTI model, the 16 types, how it ties into the nakshatra, as well as the different Enneagram types which can possibly link to Pushya nakshatra. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, my nakshatras are scattered in different planets, in different houses and so on. It becomes highly complex. How do I figure that one out? Well, for that, there will be upcoming case studies which really gets into the deep dive mode. But before that, there are these multidimensional nakshatras. First, I urge you to go through the whole thing, see which nakshatra or which planet is sitting, and do your sort of own little homework, so to speak. Do your own little homework to see what is bridging in my chart, which planet is sitting, what is the function of the planet. Mars, for example, is drive and logic. Ketu is, for example, detachment and higher thinking, sort of a liberalistic thinking. Rahu is more obsession. Saturn is about work. Mercury is about intellect. Sun is about your thought process. Moon is about your emotions. You can try this on your own chart and the charts of your family, friends, and so on. So, first measure I would suggest is go through each one of these multidimensional nakshatras. The podcasts are scheduled up till 2027, so there's lots of it upcoming, and already scheduled to premiere on different dates. You can see that. So I suggest to subscribe if you are a serious student of astrology who's also interested in some degree of psychology. Because, folks, let's face it, here is where I come from in this channel. Unless we know what the embodiment of soul is with respect to the mind, the complexities of the mind, that's where the soul is embodied, and the drives of the subconscious mind, we will not know what talents we have. And we are increasingly approaching an age where it will be vital for us to help our young people, our children, our students, the youth, in discovering their um, talents and abilities rather than thinking this profession or that profession. As you know, and as you can see in 2025, after the advent of the AI, lots of jobs are getting lost. People are losing the jobs and trying to figure out what must I do next. Now, this channel and all the content it provides with regard to uncovering your personality with respect to Vedic astrology and using all the models that are out there, I'm trying to bring to you a depth of content which is focused on uncovering yourself, your talents, your work preferences, where you would function best, and what you would enjoy the most. Yes? So, this is where I'm going with the whole content. So, multidimensional nakshatras. It's a bridge between the nakshatras, the 27 nakshatras of Vedic astrology, MBTI, the 16 types, as well as the 9 types of Enneagram. So, enjoy.
The multidimensional Ashlesha nakshatra. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to move through life with an air of mystery, their presence both captivating and unsettling? They don't seek validation, nor do they openly reveal their thoughts. They observe, analyze, and influence from the shadows. When you think about it, these are the ones who understand human nature deeply, who sense motives before words are spoken, who use their knowledge not just for personal growth, but to gain control over their environment. Their power isn't in brute force, it's in subtlety, perception, and psychological mastery. Is it any wonder that Ashlesha Nakshatra, ruled by Mercury and symbolized by the coiled serpent, carries the energy of depth, strategy, and hypnotic influence? This is the nakshatra of insight, persuasion, and transformation, where words are weapons, intellect is a shield, and emotions are tools to be understood, harnessed, and sometimes manipulated. Ashlesha natives don't just navigate the world, they decode it, weaving their way through its complexities with the precision of a serpent sensing its prey. Look at the psychologists, strategists, negotiators, and mystics who seem to know what others are thinking before they do, who influence without being seen, who unravel deception while keeping their own motives hidden. Whether in business, politics, healing, or esoteric knowledge, they have a unique ability to sense what lies beneath the surface and use it to their advantage. They are not just intellectuals. They are alchemists of the mind, capable of turning perception into power. And what makes them so compelling? It's their ability to weave between light and shadow, truth and illusion, creation and destruction. Unlike Pushya's nurturing stability or Punarvasu's hopeful renewal, Ashlesha is covert, enigmatic, and transformative, understanding that real power doesn't always reveal itself. It moves in silence, behind the scenes, shifting reality in ways that are often imperceptible until the change is complete. But here's what's most fascinating. Ashlesha's power isn't just in understanding the hidden world, but in controlling it. They are masters of words, of persuasion, of shifting perspectives, and altering reality through perception. Whether through healing, psychological insight, or strategic manipulation, they bend reality to their will, making them both dangerous and invaluable, feared yet respected, unpredictable yet magnetic. So, the next time you meet someone who can read people effortlessly, who operates from a place of quiet intelligence, who influences without force but with calculated precision, ask yourself, are they channeling the hypnotic, deeply perceptive force of Ashlesha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just intelligent. They are the unseen forces shaping the world, the minds that work in the background, and the ones who remind us that true power isn't always visible. It is felt, sensed, and deeply understood. The multi-dimensional Ashlesha Nakshatra, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people seem to know exactly what you're thinking before you say a word? They don't seek attention, nor do they lay their cards on the table. They observe, analyze, and influence from the background. When you think about it, these are the ones who understand motives before actions, who play the long game, who move through life like unseen strategists, bending reality to their will without ever raising their voice. Their power isn't in brute force. It's in perception, manipulation, and control over the unseen. Is it any wonder that Ashlesha Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types that thrive in complexity, subtlety, and psychological depth? The INTJ, INFJ, and ENTP, each in their own way, mirror Ashlesha's ability to operate beneath the surface, gathering knowledge, influencing outcomes, and wielding intelligence like a weapon. They don't just navigate life, they decode it, manipulate it, and transform it from within. The INTJ, the mastermind, is Ashlesha's strategic mind, always calculating the next move while remaining unreadable to others. Like Ashlesha, they value power, control, and precision, always seeking to understand the deeper mechanisms of life. They don't just accumulate knowledge, they weaponize it, using it to outmaneuver opponents, anticipate challenges, and subtly influence situations to their advantage. Their strength lies in detachment, mastery of information, and the ability to execute plans without revealing their true intentions. Then there's the INFJ, the mystic, the one who moves through the world with quiet, almost supernatural insight. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Ashlesha's hypnotic, psychological depth? INFJs, like Ashlesha, understand human emotions better than most, sensing what lies beneath words and actions. They can persuade, influence, and guide others without direct confrontation, weaving their way through life with an enigmatic presence that others feel but rarely fully understand. And what about the ENTP, the debater, the one who thrives on intellectual agility, playing devil's advocate, and bending conversations to their will. Unlike the calculated intensity of the INTJ or the quiet influence of the INFJ, the ENTP channels Ashlesha's mercurial intelligence, using quick thinking, wordplay, and adaptability to gain the upper hand. They love to provoke, challenge, and uncover hidden truths, often disrupting existing systems with sharp wit and unpredictable tactics. Their charisma and ability to shift perspectives make them formidable mental warriors. So, when you meet someone who moves through life like a hidden force, reading between the lines, shaping events from the background, effortlessly adapting their words and actions to any situation, ask yourself, are they channeling the mysterious, deeply intelligent force of Ashlesha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just perceptive. They are the silent architects of fate, the ones who remind us that true power isn't just about what's seen, it's about what's known, understood, and quietly controlled. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to always be 2 steps ahead, quietly shaping the world around them without ever drawing attention to themselves? They don't need validation, nor do they seek open confrontation. They observe, strategize, and influence from the shadows. When you think about it, these are the ones who understand human nature at its core, who see deception for what it is, who navigate life like a chessboard, anticipating every move before it happens. Their power isn't in brute strength, it's in subtlety, insight, and psychological mastery. Is it any wonder that Ashlesha Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that thrive in intelligence, control, and deep perception? The Investigator type 5, the Challenger type 8, and the Loyalist type 6, each in their own way, mirror Ashlesha's gift for uncovering hidden truths, wielding influence, and mastering the art of subtle persuasion. They don't just live in the world. They decode it, manipulate it, and move through it with an awareness that others can barely comprehend. The Investigator, type 5, is Ashlesha's intellectual mind, the one who prefers the shadows, gathering knowledge, mastering complexity, and avoiding emotional entanglements. Like Ashlesha, they see patterns where others see chaos, predict behavior where others act impulsively, and analyze motives with a near clinical detachment. They are not driven by power, but by the need to understand the underlying structure of reality itself, using that knowledge not for show, but for control. Then there's the Challenger type 8, the one who doesn't just read the game, but plays to win. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns so strongly with Ashlesha's commanding snake-like energy? Type 8s, like Ashlesha, understand power dynamics instinctively, knowing exactly when to strike, when to hold back, and when to shift their approach for maximum impact. They are the ones who use force sparingly but effectively, ensuring that when they move, the world moves with them. And what about the Loyalist, type 6? The one who sees danger before it arrives, who anticipates betrayal, who trusts only those who have proven their worth. Unlike the detached type 5 or the commanding type 8, the type 6 channels Ashlesha's hyper-awareness and survival instincts. They don't trust blindly. They question everything, always searching for hidden motives, always preparing for worst-case scenarios. Their loyalty, once earned, is unshakable, but until then, they observe, test, and wait, ensuring that they never fall victim to deception. So, when you meet someone who reads between the lines, who moves through life like a strategist, who influences without force but with precision and calculation, ask yourself, are they channeling the hypnotic, deeply perceptive force of Ashlesha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just intelligent. They are the ones who shape reality from behind the scenes, the unseen forces that remind us that true power isn't loud. It's silent, coiled, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The multidimensional Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to command authority, exude an air of superiority, and hold a deep inner strength that makes them impossible to ignore? They don't chase power. It naturally gravitates toward them. When you think about it, these are the ones who don't need validation, who operate from a place of mastery, who lead through sheer wisdom, strategic thinking, and an unshakable presence. Their power isn't in seeking approval. It's in knowing their worth, embracing responsibility and mastering their environment with sharp intellect and resilience. Is it any wonder that Jyeshtha Nakshatra, ruled by Mercury and symbolized by the amulet, a sign of hidden wisdom and power, carries the energy of authority, command, and deep strategic intelligence? This is the nakshatra of rulers, warriors, and protectors of knowledge. Those who hold power not just through brute force, but through intellect, foresight, and an ability to navigate the complexities of life with control and wisdom. Jyeshtha natives don't just lead, they dominate, protect, and uphold legacies, ensuring that their influence is undeniable and enduring. Look at the leaders, strategists, protectors, and powerful figures who seem to have an innate ability to command respect, to make the tough decisions, and to wield their influence with authority. Whether in business, politics, law, or intelligence, they are highly perceptive, calculating, and deeply aware of both power structures and human psychology. They don't waste time on superficial pursuits. They delve into the depths, making sure they are always several steps ahead of the competition. And what makes them so powerful? It's their ability to command respect without asking for it, to carry themselves with dignity, and to handle responsibility with sharp intellect and unwavering confidence. Unlike Anuradha's relational depth or Vishaka's relentless ambition, Jyeshtha moves with calculated authority, ensuring that they are always in control, always protected, and always in a position of influence. They are the guardians of knowledge, the enforcers of justice, and the keepers of ancient wisdom. But here's what's most fascinating. Jyeshtha's power isn't just about ruling, but about earning their position through mastery and intelligence. Whether in leadership, strategy, or protection, they understand that true power isn't just given, it's cultivated, protected, and wielded with precision. They don't act impulsively. They observe, analyze, and strike when the time is right, ensuring that their moves are always impactful. So, the next time you meet someone who commands respect effortlessly, who operates from a place of deep intelligence and strategic control, who doesn't just follow but leads with absolute authority, ask yourself, are they channeling the enigmatic, commanding force of Jyeshtha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just powerful. They are the protectors, the tacticians, the master strategists who remind us that true authority comes not from being the loudest, but from being the smartest, the sharpest, and the most prepared. The multi-dimensional Jyeshtha Nakshatra, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people seem to command authority effortlessly, carrying themselves with an aura of wisdom, strategy, and quiet dominance? They don't seek power for the sake of it. They master it, protect it, and ensure that it is wielded wisely. When you think about it, these are the ones who understand the complexities of leadership, who navigate life with strategic precision, who command respect without ever demanding it. Their power isn't in chasing influence. It's in owning their space, maintaining control, and ensuring that they are always in a position of strength. Is it any wonder that Jyeshtha Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types that thrive on strategic leadership, deep intelligence, and a commanding presence? The INTJ, ENTJ, and ISTJ, each in their own way, mirror Jyeshtha's masterful control, authoritative demeanor, and ability to remain several steps ahead of everyone else. They don't just act. They calculate, plan, and ensure that every move they make strengthens their influence and legacy. The INTJ, the mastermind, is Jyeshtha's strategic ruler, always planning several moves ahead, valuing knowledge as power, and ensuring that they control their own destiny. Like Jyeshtha, they are independent thinkers, operating from a place of deep wisdom, mastering their craft, and moving through life with an almost untouchable presence. They don't waste energy on things that don't serve their higher purpose. They focus, refine, and execute with an unmatched level of intelligence and foresight. Then there's the ENTJ, the commander, the one who doesn't just plan for success, but actively structures the world around them to ensure it. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns so well with Jyeshtha's commanding energy? ENTJs, like Jyeshtha, are natural-born leaders, asserting dominance, taking control, and making bold moves with confidence. They are unapologetically ambitious, willing to make the tough calls, and capable of handling immense responsibility with precision and strength. And what about the ISTJ, the logistician, the one who values discipline, order, and protecting what has been built? Unlike the future-oriented INTJ or the power-driven ENTJ, the ISTJ channels Jyeshtha's duty-bound energy, ensuring that traditions, systems, and structures are upheld with integrity. They are methodical, detail-oriented, and deeply committed to maintaining control and enforcing justice, making them natural guardians of power. So, when you meet someone who carries themselves with quiet strength, who operates with deep intelligence, who values structure, mastery, and the ability to remain untouchable, ask yourself, are they channeling the authoritative, tactical force of Jyeshtha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just powerful. They are the masterminds, the tacticians, the silent rulers, who remind us that true authority isn't about chasing control. It's about ensuring that it is never lost. The multi-dimensional Jyeshtha Nakshatra, the Enneagram connection. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to exude an aura of authority, wisdom, and mastery as if they were born to lead? They don't chase power. They command it through intelligence, discipline, and a deep understanding of human nature. When you think about it, these are the ones who know how to navigate complex situations, maintain control in any environment, and ensure that they remain in a position of strength. Their power isn't in outward dominance, it's in silent mastery, calculated influence, and the ability to protect what is theirs. Is it any wonder that Jyeshtha Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that thrive on control, discipline, and strategic leadership? The Challenger, Type 8, the Perfectionist, Type 1, and the Investigator, Type 5, each in their own way, mirror Jyeshtha's powerful, intellectual, and highly disciplined nature. They don't just lead, they protect, refine, and ensure that their influence is long-lasting and unshakable. The Challenger, Type 8, is Jyeshtha's commanding presence, the one who dominates, takes charge, and ensures that they are always in control of their environment. Like Jyeshtha, they operate from a place of power, refusing to be vulnerable, always maintaining authority over themselves and their surroundings. They don't back down from challenges. They face them head-on, ensuring that their influence is respected and that they are never at the mercy of others. Then there's the Perfectionist, Type 1, the one who thrives on discipline, order, and ensuring that everything is done with integrity and precision. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Jyeshtha's structured and duty-bound energy? Type 1s, like Jyeshtha, hold themselves to extremely high standards, believing that power must be wielded responsibly and that control must come from knowledge, wisdom, and a clear moral code. They are strong-willed, focused, and deeply committed to maintaining order in whatever they oversee. And what about the Investigator, Type 5? The one who values knowledge, independence, and control over their own mind and environment. Unlike the forceful Type 8 or the structured Type 1, the Type 5 channels Jyeshtha's intellectual mastery, operating from a place of deep understanding and strategic foresight. They don't engage in unnecessary conflict. They observe, analyze, and ensure that they are always several steps ahead, protecting themselves through intelligence and detachment. Their strength lies in their ability to remain untouchable, using wisdom as their greatest weapon. So, when you meet someone who moves with quiet authority, who refuses to be controlled, who values wisdom and discipline as their greatest strengths, ask yourself, are they channeling the protective tactical force of Jyeshtha? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just powerful. They are the strategists, the guardians, the quiet rulers, who remind us that true strength isn't about being seen. It's about ensuring that nothing can ever shake your foundation. The multidimensional Revati Nakshatra. Did you ever wonder why some people radiate an aura of kindness, wisdom, and quiet yet profound guidance as if they exist in a world beyond the material plane? They don't seek power or recognition. They seek completion, healing, and a deep sense of connection with the universe. When you think about it, these are the ones who move through life with gentleness, grace, and a quiet but undeniable wisdom, serving as guides, protectors, and nurturers of those around them. Their power isn't in dominance. It's in compassion, intuition, and their ability to walk between the seen and unseen worlds. Is it any wonder that Revati Nakshatra, Ruled by Mercury and symbolized by a drum or a fish representing the final journey, transcendence, and cosmic rhythm, carries the energy of completion, universal love, and deep spiritual connection. This is the nakshatra of healers, empaths, dreamers, and wise souls who understand that life is a journey of learning, serving, and ultimately dissolving into something greater. Revati natives don't seek external validation. They move toward wholeness, often serving as quiet beacons of light for others. Look at the spiritual teachers, counselors, poets, musicians, and compassionate leaders who seem to exist in a liminal space between reality and the divine, guiding others while deeply in touch with their own inner world. Whether in art, healing, humanitarian work, or spiritual exploration, they embody patience, acceptance, and a profound understanding that life is about the journey, not the destination. They don't rush, they flow, trusting in divine timing and the natural unfolding of life. And what makes them so powerful? It's their ability to see the bigger picture, to remain deeply connected to universal truths, and to bring healing and closure where others see only chaos. Unlike Uttara Bhadrapada's still meditative wisdom or Purva Bhadrapada's radical transformation, Revati moves with gentle surrender, embracing all of life with love and understanding, ensuring that nothing is left incomplete. They are the soul guides, the nurturers, the ones who remind us that everything is interconnected and that our true journey is toward love, unity, and spiritual fulfillment. But here's what's most fascinating. Revati's power isn't just about personal enlightenment, but about guiding others toward their own sense of peace and closure. Whether through mentorship, art, or healing, they ensure that those around them feel safe, whole, and supported on their own paths. They don't seek to control outcomes. They trust, knowing that everything unfolds in divine timing. So the next time you meet someone who moves with effortless grace, who seems to carry the wisdom of lifetimes, who offers warmth, healing, and guidance without seeking anything in return, ask yourself, are they channeling the compassionate, transcendental force of Revati? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just kind. They are the guardians of the soul, the ones who remind us that the greatest journey is the one that leads us back to wholeness. The multi-dimensional Revati Nakshatra, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people seem to float through life with an effortless grace, offering wisdom, healing, and a quiet but profound presence? They don't seek material success or external recognition. They seek deeper meaning, unity, and a sense of cosmic completion. When you think about it, these are the ones who exist between worlds, deeply intuitive, compassionate, and always guiding others toward peace, closure, and inner fulfillment. Their power isn't in ambition. It's in surrender, wisdom, and the ability to nurture others toward their highest potential. Is it any wonder that Revati Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types that thrive on deep emotional intelligence, intuitive wisdom, and selfless service? The INFJ, INFP, and ENFP, each in their own way, mirror Revati's gentle, wise, and deeply compassionate nature. They don't just live in the moment. They exist beyond it, constantly exploring the unseen, seeking meaning, and guiding others toward healing and spiritual growth. The INFJ, the mystic, is Revati's spiritual guide, blending intuition, insight, and selfless service to bring meaning to others. Like Revati, they walk a path of deep understanding, often feeling like old souls with wisdom beyond their years. They don't seek control or power. They seek to illuminate, heal, and guide, offering their knowledge with patience and grace. Their presence feels ethereal, as if they are always connected to something greater than themselves. Then there's the INFP, the dreamer, the one who sees the world not for what it is, but for what it could be, embodying boundless compassion, creativity, and spiritual depth. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Revati's dreamy, poetic, and otherworldly energy? INFPs, like Revati, thrive in the realm of imagination, emotions, and higher consciousness, often acting as healers, artists, and quiet revolutionaries who bring beauty and meaning to the world. They feel deeply, love deeply, and live deeply, embodying the very essence of universal love. And what about the ENFP, the visionary, the one who spreads light, joy, and inspiration wherever they go, connecting with people through emotion, energy, and a natural curiosity for life's mysteries? Unlike the introspective INFJ or the poetic INFP, the ENFP channels Revati's playful, whimsical, and free-spirited energy, ensuring that spirituality and joy are not separate but intertwined. They bring warmth and optimism into the lives of others, reminding us that even in our search for deeper truths, life is meant to be celebrated. So when you meet someone who seems to exist in a different dimension, who offers wisdom without expectation, who moves with kindness, intuition, and an almost divine grace, ask yourself, are they channeling the transcendent healing force of Revati? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just compassionate. They are the soul guides, the dreamers, the ones who remind us that life isn't just about what we achieve, it's about how deeply we connect, love, and return to the source of all things. The multi-dimensional Revati Nakshatra, the Enneagram connection. Did you ever wonder why some people move through life with an almost ethereal presence, as if they are connected to something beyond the material world? They don't chase after power or status. They seek meaning, healing, and a sense of completion, not just for themselves, but for everyone they encounter. When you think about it, these are the ones who radiate kindness, wisdom, and deep emotional intelligence, offering guidance, comfort, and spiritual insight without asking for anything in return. Their power isn't in control, it's in surrender, transcendence, and the ability to see the bigger picture of life. Is it any wonder that Revati Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that thrive on emotional depth, spiritual wisdom, and selfless service? The Peacemaker, Type 9, the Individualist, Type 4, and the Helper, Type 2, each in their own way, mirror Revati's compassionate, introspective, and deeply connected nature. They don't just exist in the world. They move through it like healers, seekers, and quiet guides, always searching for meaning and harmony. The Peacemaker Type 9 is Revati's soulful mediator, seeking harmony, peace, and unity above all else. Like Revati, they avoid conflict, preferring to flow with life's rhythms, offering wisdom and comfort to those who need it most. They see the world as interconnected and believe that true fulfillment comes from inner balance and the ability to bring tranquility to others. Then there's the Individualist, Type 4, the one who lives with an innate sense of longing, searching for depth, beauty, and a connection to something greater. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Revati's poetic, spiritual, and deeply introspective energy? Type 4s, like Revati, aren't afraid to explore life's mysteries, to embrace the highs and lows of existence, and to express their emotions in deeply meaningful ways. They seek profound connections, often feeling like wanderers between worlds, drawn toward art, music, and spiritual transcendence. And what about the Helper, Type 2? The one who thrives on nurturing, healing, and offering unconditional love and support. Unlike the detached Type 9 or the existential Type 4, the Type 2 channels Revati's nurturing, selfless love, ensuring that those around them feel safe, cared for, and deeply understood. They offer themselves as emotional guides, acting as the silent caretakers who provide solace, wisdom, and reassurance to those in need. So when you meet someone who radiates kindness, who moves through life like a quiet guardian of the soul, who seems to exist in a state of gentle surrender and deep wisdom, ask yourself, are they channeling the peaceful, spiritually evolved force of Revati? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just compassionate. They are the healers, the poets, the silent dreamers, who remind us that life is not just about where we are going. It's about how deeply we experience the journey.